Dr. Kim Scott has this incredible book called Radical Candor, and in it she uses a term called ruinous empathy. Now, basically, this term is really used to describe when our demonstration of empathy is ruinous to both ourselves and the other person. We're using it in a way that's either unbalanced or in a way that is sending us off kilter or is detrimental to the outcome we're looking for. This is part 2 of a post on LinkedIn from last week regarding compassion fatigue and empathy distress. What is necessary when we're thinking about compassion and empathy is to first look at ourselves. Now, in trying to avoid it being compassion fatigue or empathy distress, we have to look at, most importantly, our motivating intention. In demonstrating empathy, what is driving me in this pursuit or action? What parts of my personality are coming to the forefront? What parts of myself am I potentially trying to fulfill through the demonstration of empathy? What beliefs are driving my intention? What expectations do I have from demonstrating empathy or compassion as a reciprocal action from the recipient? If all of these sort of criteria around my motivating intention aren't met, then compassion fatigue or empathy distress becomes a risk. If I'm a leader and I'm leading other people and it's necessary for me to demonstrate empathy, and I have a motivating intention of demonstrating that because I'm being told to demonstrate it in order to keep people, but it isn't a natural state for me, it doesn't come from an intention of caring, then I may feel that through the process, I have to sort of squash or hinder my authenticity, my natural default style in leadership. And it can become quite fatiguing and distressing to be in a place of empathy, more likely because when it's not a natural state or a learned skill, I use it improperly. Now, empathy as an emotional intelligence skill must be balanced with assertiveness. It's absolutely necessary that when we seek to understand what someone else is experiencing and their perspective, that in leadership we are also looking at accountability and expectations to performance outcomes. And we're trying to creative problem solve how we can have both happen. So if someone is being crushed under a certain state of feeling, but there's an expectation of performance for the day, do we just let them perform in mediocrity or subpar? No, in leadership we don't. There's expectations in business. We want to give them space and we want to understand their perspective. And then we want to assert the expectations and performance that is necessary and ask, are you capable of achieving these today? Now, when people aren't, this is where we avoid compassion fatigue, is when people aren't, we creatively problem solve. So what is the solution then? If this is the expectation you need to hit today, the performance outcomes necessary, what do you need as an individual to be able to achieve that? And if the individual does not have a solution, then you can start offering things like, do you need a wellness day or a sick day or a personal day? Like, do you need a day so that you can recover and come back to be able to hit these expectations? And they might not need a whole day. They might need half a day. They might need a 20-minute break. The purpose here when we think about empathy, assertiveness, compassion fatigue, empathy distress is we want to seek balance. We want to fully understand what is motivating our intention. And the balance of that intention is first our own emotional self-awareness. Where are we coming from? Assertiveness, defending what expectations and performance criteria are, and independence, freedom from the emotional state of the other person. And when we can combine all of those things, then we arm ourselves really strongly against empathy, distress, or compassion fatigue.